about to happen. It is. I know you're so excited. So we're going to bring our virgin up in just a second, and then you're going to have your big final finale, and it's going to be one of your best nights of February. Yeah? All right, so now I know that David is a lawyer. Did he bring a bunch of lawyer friends? Do we have any other lawyers out here? Yeah, good. What's up with you guys with the horrible name we're calling? What do they call lawyers? What do we have? You guys get called what? Liars. That's a good one. Bloodsuckers. Assholes. Assholes. All right. Ambulance chasers. Shysters. Leech. What was that? Incubus? Oh.
The opposite of a succubus.
There it is. Are you a lawyer?
No.
Like you really know what you're talking about. I just think you guys get like the worst rap since like Hitler, you poor guys. So tonight, when we welcome our lawyer to the stage, okay, we get to be the jury and we get to see how he does. Whether he should quit his $1 million day job. Right, Katie? And we'll see whether he's more like the Aaron Brockovich type or like what's we got from Breaking Bad, Saul. We'll see how we do. All right, so give a very warm welcome.
In her dress. So it's like you guys all came and now you owe me a gift. Have it here. Next on the list, when are you going to have a baby? I know this because 191 of the 217 guests at the wedding asked us that. I didn't mind the question so much because it gave me a chance to tell my Aunt Helga, putting a baby in Katie tonight. By the 10th person, I was just saying, ain't nothing wrong with the little bump and grind. But let's be serious, guys.
What's the name?
This is a pretty intrusive question. Because basically, you're asking people at your wedding, who you may have not seen in a year or for 10 years and don't know. They're saying, are you planning to fuck your wife without protection? If so, because I already assume you are, when are you doing that? And then also, can you speculate on your own fertility? I'm excited to have a kid, though, because there's a lot of things that you can't do as a 31-year-old man without being labeled weird or freaky or convicted sex offender. Sit at a bench in a public park or grow a mustache. There's this thing, Discover the Dinosaurs, that probably nobody here has heard of it because I'm the only 31-year-old man that wants to see stuff like this, but it's at the LA Convention Center. There's animatronic dinosaurs. They're life-size. They have a pteranodon. Do you guys know what that is? The flying dinosaur. I don't know how they make it fly. Okay, I want to see that. But can you guys imagine the ticket taker when I roll up without a kid? And I'm like, I came for the Triceratops, the one on my face. There's also Legos. That's another awesome thing that you get to play with when you have a kid. I love Legos, and this is not a joke. I tried to register for them, but my wife was like, we need practical things, like flatware. I was like, Katie, we can build anything we need. You guys notice that the makers of Legos, well, for that matter, any toy out there, they tell you that you can't play with them. It's right there on the box. It says ages 5 to 15. That's bogus. I mean, who decides that a 16-year-old doesn't have imagination, and like, or a 31-year-old for that matter? And like, who enforces that? Is there going to be like a bouncer at the toy store? Can I see your license? Oh, no Legos for you. And like, maybe I have to wait outside the toy store and like proposition kids. Hey, give me those Star Wars Legos. Yeah, here's a little extra for you. Maybe something. But I'm also really nervous to have kids because, like every other parent, I will screw up my kids without even knowing that I'm doing it. I know this because my parents, who are loving, amazing parents, they screwed me up pretty bad. They're doctors, so they were always using technical terms. And so like, I'd come in with a scrape, and my mom would be like, oh, that's nothing. I had my hands in a man's open chest today. Which was weird because my mom was a psychiatrist. Can't figure that one out. But like, we didn't use any slang terms. It was always like, David, you need to take a bowel movement. And that was really bad on the playground because like a kid would call me a doo-doo head, and I didn't have a response. I'd be like, you're a duodenum. I still don't know what that means. And it affected me later on in life. I didn't have any confidence, so I was never with the cool kids. I never learned any slang terms. Somehow managed to score a beautiful wife. And God bless her heart, you know, she tries real hard to bring me along here. And so, you know, we'll be getting intimate. That means fucking. And she'll say something like, I'm getting turned on right now. And I'll be like, oh, is there an increase in dopamine in your prefrontal cortex? And she'll be like, are you getting turned on? And I'll be like, there's definitely increased blood flow in my genitals. So like with my parents, you know, we used technical terms, so it was never like pee-pee and foo-foo or hoo-ha. It was always... And? No, cock and pussy, guys. My parents were doctors, but they had big time potty mouths. The worst thing, though, that my mom ever did was, I remember it like it was yesterday. I was playing with Legos, of course, and I asked that question that all kids inevitably ask, Mom, where did I come from? And the next thing I know, she's setting up a projector. And I cease to have a very vivid memory, but I do remember some horrifying details. There was blood, there was screaming, there was burnt SpaghettiOs coming out of my mom's vagina, and weirdly my dad's disembodied voice encouraging my mom. I think my mom could have handled this one a little bit better. Like she could have told me that she picked me up at Goodwill because nobody else wanted me. Literally anything, because this moment was the worst amalgamation of terrifying moments that you could have in your life. Like that first time you saw a lot of blood, check. That first time that you saw your parents in pain, check. That time you saw your parents' genitals, check. That time that you saw yourself coming out of your mom's vagina, oh, that was just me. And I see somebody's videotaping, so that was the second most traumatic thing on film. Thank you guys very much.
How do you do? He did amazing. He was phenomenal. I love this show. So good. All right, are you guys ready for your big closer?